What is up, YouTube world? I'm Ashley D. Before I get started, why don't you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button? And please feel free to share. I also want to say everything I state is allegedly, it's not a guaranteed fact. It's just my own personal opinion. Also, I would like to say within a few months span, I'm probably going to be collaborating with a couple more YouTubers, as well as I have some things I want to work on to bring forward to the platform. There's going to be some exciting things, change it up a little bit. I'm going to continue to follow this case as well as report on other things and talk about meaningful things that will help us. Today, I'm going to speak on Chrisean Rock and Blueface and their whole situation in the dynamic and what I feel about it. So, we have two people that are broken, that meet at the wrong time in their life. We have Chrisean, who came from a background of pain and trauma, as well as Blueface. We don't see his dad being active in his life, and his mom is nothing but chaos and drama. His mom thinks, and this is why she latches herself onto her son so much, because she feels like her son has made it. And since he made it, that shows that she's a good mother. She's done her part. She wants everyone to feel like her son is a prize. But what she failed to realize is her son is the prize, all right, the little prize, the jack-in-the-box prize, the little bitty prize everybody is disappointed about in the popcorn or in the cereal. And instead of her owning up to the parts about where she went wrong, not to mention how her son treats these females, she wants to continue on and support and condone his behavior. So now not only he feels as though she's weird, she's not a example for him, a role model, whatever you want to look at it. He feels as though she's crossed so many different boundaries that a mother shouldn't cross, as well as his older brother. A few days ago, he spoke to his mom and he told her the relationship that she has for the brother is weird. And she tried to act like she don't see anything wrong with it. But she feels as though as long as she stays in Blueface life and he's relevant, she's going to stay relevant. You have a lot of moms out here just like her that attach themselves on to their sons. And it becomes an unhealthy relationship. They have their unhealed traumas. So they look at their sons like they're their man, their husbands, their protector, their meal tickets, instead of looking at them like that's their child. Instead of raising them to be decent citizens, instead of not condoning everything that they do. Have her son ever done anything for her to be proud of? Everything that he's done is against women, and it shows that their dynamic is toxic. He records his child's mother, which the kids will be able to look back over this when they're old enough and see that not only my father had a child right under my sister, but he also got my mother drunk and continued to record her using the restroom outside, laughing, falling out in the casino, speaking of her in such vulgar manner, disrespecting her, no lack. And people like Blueface is emotionally too immature. He never grew up. He has that little boy abandonment issue, not only just from his mom, but his mother. From his mom, but his father. You could tell his mom was the type of mother that when she realized Blueface was that child, she pushed him. However, the other kids didn't get the best of her. She was the club mother, the party mother, the have fun mother, the I want to still look young and be relevant mother. We see that now. So that creates a toxic child. And that creates two people from two broken backgrounds to trauma bond. Chrisean Rock had a promising future in running track. When that didn't work out for her, instead of her saying no, instead of her still knocking on that door, doing everything she could that was necessary to make it, So one day she could look back and she could be a mentor for other little girls or teenagers that are in situations similar to hers. But instead, she went through the other door, which was plan B. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. The worst thing she could have ever did was sign up for Blueface Club. And it could have went in a good way if had she dealt with her traumas from her past, dealt with her daddy issues, her mother issues, her abandonment issues. All of this could have went in her favor. She could have went in the house. She already was athletic. People were coming at her. She stood out, her own personality, her own little look. She could fight. Not to mention, build up her Instagram followers. She probably would have got a sponsor, anything. Who knows? Once she built up her own platform, she could have went her own separate way. But instead, she chose to attach herself to someone that already had trauma. And you could tell he has no lack of respect for women, no discipline, no structure. While his child's mother was at the ATM getting money out, in such angry way and tone, he said, "No one has ever done anything for me. No one has ever looked out for me, shown me any type of love." I saw hurt and pain like a little boy in his face and his tone. And she said, "What do you mean? I looked out for you. You stayed at my house." Something of that nature. And he said, "Oh yeah, that's right. You did." His problem is he wants to punish every woman in his life because that one woman didn't do right by him. And that was his mother. The one person who was supposed to nurture him, love him, protect him. She can't show him his manhood, but she could come close enough to showing him how to treat a woman, how to open a door for a lady, what's appropriate. Instead, she allowed him to roam free because he was that one child, that one apple of her eye, that one that was good at everything. So I'm going to put all my focus on him. And while she did that, the other kids suffered. Chrisean Rock, has she healed her traumas and seek therapy before she reached her peak, her adult years, she would not have immediately clicked up with Blueface. That would have been a red flag to her. But instead, she chose to attach her daddy issues, her abandonment issues, everything all in one, and put it into this man's hands. Someone that could care less. Someone that goes back and forth from her traumas and use it against her to his child's mother, first child's mother traumas. When he said those things to her, let me piggyback, it made me realize that, wow, not only he has hurt and anger because of the issues he's dealt with his mother, but he also feel as though I got here. I had to do so much to get to where I am today. Nobody knows what go on behind closed doors. You guys can't even imagine what I had to deal with. And all you guys have to do is just show up on camera with me or have my baby. And then there you go. You have followers. This is easy for you. But I had to do all of this to get here. I made all of you guys. And now just because I made you, I have free will to do as I please with each and every one of you. Like it's a card deck. When Chrisean is not acting right in his mind, there he go. Let me pull another card. Let me go chill over my baby mama house. Let me go talk reckless about Chrisean because I know it's going to trigger her because she's emotionally trauma and attached to me. She hasn't healed her childhood traumas. And when you haven't healed those childhood traumas, you will carry those on into a relationship to your teenage years and to your adult years. And not only will you create trauma ties with someone else, but soul ties with them. And once you create these deep-rooted connections with these people that you weren't even supposed to be with, you weren't even supposed to be connected to in the long run, it's even harder to get rid of. And people don't understand. If they don't heal those childhood traumas, that carries on to the next generation. Just like if you could think back about, example, someone in your family that passed away from suicide a while ago, maybe your grandmother's daughter, someone. And then the next generation, same thing happens. Maybe your family suffers from depression. And that is a generational curse as well that has to be broken from healing your childhood traumas that you carry to the next generation. If those not healed, if those insecurities, maybe Blueface mom had issues as well, mother and father issues. So she brought those traumas with her as she raised those kids. And Blueface caught it the worst because she attached herself to him the most. And she seemed as though she treated him like her man instead of her son. The nurturing part of the relationship wasn't there. She just allowed him to guide and lead the way because he was the star, the apple in her eye. She never holds her son accountable for anything. Chrisean Rock put herself in a situation where she felt like she owed Blueface everything because her first plan did not work out like she planned. She thought she would get a scholarship. She thought she would go to college. The before and after pictures of Chrisean is night and day. Someone that loves you will not want to see you at your worst, will not want to continuously trick you into drinking alcohol or consuming something that will have you knocked off your square, not on point, and then record you where you're not in the best light. And now you're exposed to the world. Someone that truly doesn't have trauma, abandonment issues, that is a grown man that loves you. He will not want the world to see you in the worst light. That's not love. But she felt as though she owed that to him because if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be where she is today. She wouldn't be making money. She wouldn't be noticed. She wouldn't be seen. However, she owes him nothing. It was her that showed up at the Blueface house. It was her that fought her way to the top with those fights when people kept coming at her. It was her that draws the crowd that gets attention, that everyone loves and is wishing her well. That's her personality. It has nothing to do with Blueface. He got you there. You tried to make a relationship work. When that didn't work out and you saw right away what he was on, you should have been able to walk away. I did my dues with you. I put you back in the limelight. Yes, you can feel like you made me, but now I'm finna finish making myself into a better person, and an influencer, and a motivational person. I'm going to influence other people to do right and know that it's okay and you could come from nothing and make something. But instead, he took all her pain and childhood traumas and used those against her. He is the type of simp that privately, and you could tell when his child's mother is on point, even though she's just as silly as Chrisean, because I don't see how she puts up with it. But then again, allegedly, it was stated that she liked girls more than boys. So it probably really doesn't bother her when he's with other girls, because no woman in their right mind will put up with that. So maybe she's okay with that because she's doing her. But she's trying to front for the camera because maybe she doesn't want the world to know that. And that's allegedly. But anyhow, instead of continuing on this trauma, branding herself, tattoos of him, showing her pledge allegiance to him time and time again, she should have been able to walk away. Like I was saying, he's the type of guy that when he's alone with these girls and his baby mom be like, put your hand down, get your hand out of my face, don't do that. And he quickly changes his demeanor with her. When he's privately with them, I love you, baby. You know, it's all about you. I got to put on this act. I got to impress the world. I got to keep us relevant. This is how we get our money. So if I do something silly or crazy, just know it's not me. And I care. Next thing you know, he done spent the night with them. The next day later, you wake up, you see something online about you that's bad. You see him with another woman. You see him by his kid's mother. That is itself enough trauma to spread your mind out in confusion. How can you heal when this person is constantly opening up these childhood traumas that you locked away in a box. Not only abandonment issues, father issues. Had you had a strong, supportive mother in your life, she would have told you that wasn't real love. You want to continually got this man tattooed on you. Walked around with your tooth not in your mouth when you came there with your tooth. You allowed this man to make a joke and a mockery out of your brand just to pull himself up. He had to pull you down and knock you down a couple of notches because he knew. He saw that spark in you. He knew that he didn't have anything left in him to stay relevant besides dragging you girls down, besides making someone look bad to make himself look good. He knew that spark and that fight and that fire inside of you can be reunited in the most positive way, and you could become something bright. But he'd rather milk you dry and dust you out before you even get a chance to recognize your worth. And that's not love. If you're going through any type of childhood traumas, something that emotionally affected you to where you haven't properly healed, from abandonment issue, from parents to anything that could have happened that hurt you real bad, I suggest you go through therapy. And if your child has been through that as well and is dealing with a single household, just imagine your child feels like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulder if you're a single parent. They could be having something that's bothering them. But instead of worrying you about it because you worry about everything else, they carry that trauma. So how are they healing healthy if they're carrying that trauma? So now they're holding that in. So the next relationship they get in, they might have possibly abandonment issues. They might look at someone as, you supposed to be like this, my mother, because my mother, or my father. It's important that you have to check mental health. Boys and girls, it's important for that as a parent. Especially if you're dealing with families that has generational curses from depression, from all those different type of things. They can be broken. When you release those childhood traumas and you go through therapy and you allow your children to go through therapy, everything can eventually work its way out. And you don't have to continue to be feeling like a Chrisean Rock and a Blueface. Continue to go back into the cycle of a never ending of nowhere, of nothing. This woman has a chance to be okay. She's bond tied to him for life with the child. I feel like some of the tattoos might be stuck there forever. But that doesn't mean she has to stay in that same situation. She needs to go through therapy. She could be around all the Cardi B's shouting her out, all the gorillas, everybody rooting for her. But at the end of the day, if she don't go through therapy and heal those childhood traumas, it's a possibility she could be drawn back to him. I wasn't going to speak on this until I gave it a few more days to see how it played out. Normally, I know it's a never-ending cycle with these two and back and forth, but this time in Chrisean, I see a different light in her that I haven't saw in a long time. And I'm liking what I see. And I'm wishing her well. And I know with the help of God and with that child being there and born, and she look into that child's eyes, when you're a mother and you feel it in your gut and you look at that baby, everything inside of you want to do right by that child. You want to love, you want to protect, you want to nurture. You want to give this child a life that you never had. And sometimes giving that child a life you never had is walking away from that parent. Just because you have a child with someone, that doesn't mean you need to be together. Sometimes staying in a relationship with two trauma bond people, it's just as toxic as you being with someone else and you have a trauma and they don't. If you do plan on being with someone that has abandonment issues from their mother to their father, you should suggest to them as well that they go through therapy. Everybody has issues and things that go on that they think they put to the back of their mind, but they don't realize they act that out in their adult ages. They react certain ways. They do things certain ways. That all is based on, it has to do with how we were raised, what we dealt with, what we've been through, who we are. That is a reflection of how we deal with trauma today and how we carry ourselves. I am Ashley D. I wish each and every one of you a great day today. I'll be talking to you soon. I hope this video was very helpful. If you would like to speak on something else and you have a different topic in mind, please feel free to drop that down below, and I would love to speak on it. I'll be getting back with each and every one of you soon. Take care. Bye for now.